Hi, my name is Byron, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend a few minutes here with me. I know your friend probably just put you online and he said, get on this website, you can win a free trip. And I know that's probably how you ended up here, but before you shut me off, here's what I want to tell you, is spend enough time to understand what we got, because it was about 6 years ago that the information that I'm sharing with you came across to me. And it's radically changed my entire life. And I want to ask you some questions here in the beginning. And you know, we're only going to be here about 15 minutes, and I think it might be, you might just get excited about some of the stuff we're talking about. And I'm going to put a couple pictures up here, and one of them is all this traffic. And I just want to ask you, if you're watching this, what are you thinking of right here? You know, is this what your day looks like every day? I don't know, I hope it's not, but lots of people, this is how they live. What about this picture here? All right, you got an office here, and you know, is that what life looks like on a daily basis? Or what about this picture? All right, where you're with your kids having fun. Or how about this picture where we're eating dinner with our family? You know, the unfortunate thing about this picture right here is mom and dad aren't in that picture, at least not at the same time with the kids, because that doesn't exist, because they're running off to work somewhere because they got to make enough money to keep the payments going on that house or on that car that's in the driveway or those kids in private school. All right, or what about this picture? You know, sitting in the boardroom, dreaming about what it's going to be like when 5 o'clock rolls around? Or what about this picture where you're making some memories on the beach? You know, I got a few questions here. I just want to ask you, see, the reason I'm pointing all these things out is 6 years ago I was burnt out. Life had got to me. I owned a couple companies, and things weren't going how I wanted. The relationships I had with my kids and my wife, they were past pathetic. And I had these things, I had some passions, and I sat down and I was asking myself the questions I want to ask you, and then this information I saw. And so what passions do you have? What does the next 5 years look like for you? See, I thought about these things, and I looked down the road, and I didn't like what I saw. See, the two businesses I had, one of them was doing really, really bad. In fact, I was losing so much money that my other business that was doing good couldn't support both of those and take care of my family. And I found myself in a financial situation where I was afraid my cars and my house and my kids in private Christian school, all that was going to disappear. It was going to go away very, very quickly. And I wanted the next 5 years to be different than where I was at. You know, see, I did have one of these, a bucket list. And I don't know if you have one. At least I hadn't lost all my dreams. I still had these things that I thought about. I hope you would write one of these down. What do you think, what dreams do you think God put in your heart? See, I knew that He put dreams in my heart, and He didn't put them there to torment me. He put them there because He wanted me to live those dreams. I just needed the vehicle to give me the chance to do that. And as I analyzed these questions in my own life, it came down to these two things. I wrote these two things down on a piece of paper. It came down to time, and it came down to money. Because the people that have a lot of money normally don't have any time, and the ones that have a lot of time don't have any money. What would it be like if you'd ever get those two in the same scenario? See, that's what I got excited about. What I'm getting ready to show you is I saw in this idea that that was possible right there. What about this picture? You know, the sands of time. They're going through the hourglass. Some of you watching this got a lot of sand on the top. Some of you ain't got very much. I'm just talking to you saying that sand is moving every day. And the hopes and dreams that you have, that sand just keeps on running whether you got them or don't got them. I hope as we talk here for the next few minutes that you're going to see some of the things I saw, because we got a really fun idea. I had two friends of mine, and what they came to me and they said, hey, listen, we got this idea that we're going to roll out in Dallas, Texas, and we think we got a really cool idea, and it's in the travel arena. And I said, well, that sounds kind of cool. Tell me a little bit about what's going to happen. He said, well, we got a couple products, and we want to tell you about what these are. And the first one, they said, hey, you ever heard of Sam's before? I said, well, yeah, I know what Sam's is. You buy a membership, you buy in bulk. He said, well, we're going to do that in travel. I said, really? In travel? How's that going to work? And they said, well, here's what I want to tell you, is we're going to do cruises for $69. And I said, you're crazy. You can't do a cruise for $69. I know that you are watching this right now going, that guy's a liar. There ain't no way you can do a cruise for $69. I said the exact same thing. I said, how's that possible? And they said, well, when you buy enough cabins at one time on a ship, you put enough people on there in those cabins, the price goes way down. I said, okay, like Sam's you're talking about, right? Yeah. And they said, not only that, we're going to do stuff that's $199, all-inclusives. I said, you can't do an all-inclusive for $199. They feed you at those places. They let you, have drinks and all kinds of things. They said, well, that's exactly what we're going to do. I said, let me tell you something. If you could deliver on that, I bet people would buy that product. And they said, yep, absolutely, we can deliver on it. And this was 6 years ago when it launched. And now let me just kind of show you what's taken place and happened. Because here's a picture of the $69 cruise. Here's a picture of people, at the River Maya in Mexico for $199. We do these kind of trips, hundreds of them, all over the world, whether it's in Europe or Hawaii or the Caribbean or Mexico or the Mediterranean or in Disney or a spa trip or ski trips or safaris or hunting and fishing or all the major sporting events, all those kind of things. We figured out how to put them in this Sam's Club idea, if you will, a dream trip membership is what we call it, and you access our club. And because you're part of the club, you get to access all these different trips, and we use our ability to buy in quantity to drive the price down and pass it all back to you. Now, when I saw this, there was just a couple of these ideas. Now we've doing hundreds of trips. We got tens of thousands of members around the world in more than 20 countries. And this idea is starting to grow very, very fast, and your friend that shared it with you is pretty excited about it. And just recently we added some of these kind of trips, a volunteerism trip. Let me just ask you, you might not be into this, but if you wanted to go build a school somewhere or an orphanage or dig water wells in a third world country and help some people, tell me where you go find that. Does Expedia sell that? I don't think so. All right, but our Dream Trip membership does. Now you might be part of a church or some kind of group that gives you the chance to do that. And I hope that you are, but if you're not, we've got it here and we got it available, and it's pretty cool to have that as part of the membership as well. And I'm going to show you some examples here of just a few trips, but you know what? In reality, I don't even have to really show you the examples because I know you're all thinking, say, well, are the trips off season or there's some kind of catch going on. Let me just tell you how our trips work. We got a guarantee on our trips. Our Dream Trip guarantee is simply this. You book one of our Dream Trips. If you find the exact same trip, all right, within 7 days of booking it, we'll let you take our Dream Trip for free. Now, I don't know how you beat that deal. I'm going to show you some of these. Here's, Ocho Rios, $349, all-inclusive resort. All right, here's Miami South Beach, 4 days and 3 nights. $335, includes a junior suite. You get spa credit, room credit, all kinds of other stuff. We went on Travelocity here, and you can see the best online price that was found at the time. All right. There's a huge savings on there. We're talking about, $600, $700, $800 in savings that's on there. Here's Crested Butte, Colorado, $750 per person. All right, I know a lot of you on there go skiing. I go skiing all the time. I mean, you can hardly get the lift tickets for $750. This includes the tickets and the stay. All right, here we went online and you can see exactly what the savings was. All right, not including the lift tickets, $2,000 plus. All right, how about Palm Springs? Weston Mission Hills, ridiculous nice resort, $100 resort credit, all the taxes and fees, 2 kids 12 and under are free. All right, look at the savings right here. See, we can offer a guarantee because we know what's behind the picture here. We know when you go online of what you would find, and that's why we can do what we do. So when you buy your membership, you don't have to go out and compare all the prices because we know that we got the deal for you. All right, I'm fanatical. I grew up out in the country, and if you put a shotgun in my hand, I'm pretty darn happy. Here's a Kansas turkey hunt for $650. This is 3 days guided. Save $650 per person, or maybe you like to hunt whitetail. Here's a $1,900 savings on on a whitetail hunt. And we're not just, these aren't the only 2 hunts. I think last year we did about 40 or 50 of these like this that were all over the country of all kinds for those of you that are sportsmen out there. In addition to this Dream Trip membership, which this is what they told me about. I didn't have this when I started, but I want to share it with you. We got a second product, and before I go to that product, I want to tell you about the price though. All right, for this for $199, you can access this product. All right, and you cost $27 a month, and you can become a Dream Trip member. You can use this as much as you want. There's no limitations whatsoever. But here's the second product that we launched, not too long ago, and what that was, it was called Dream Trips Life. And Dream Trips Life now is we got these trips that are all part of Dream Trips that are, lots of them are pre-packaged. There's some trips in there you can pick the dates and times. But in our Dream Trips Life product, we got it added some more features, all right? And those features simply are represented where now you got everyday kind of value that you can access, all right? It could be a booking engine, as you can see online here. Rovia is a booking engine that that is put together. And if you know how Expedia, Orbitz, or Travelocity works, that's exactly what you get that's part of that. All right, you can see an example of specifically of that. There's several other pieces in there. We got a concierge service that's kind of like having an assistant. You just call the 800 number and anything you want, they can virtually give you the answer. We got a collection of rental properties, and for me personally, I use this right here more than about anything in our entire offering of what the products represent. See, we got access to, rental properties, whether they're vacation homes or condominiums or villas, all over the world at some crazy prices. Lots of those are less than $500 for an entire week. For your whole family, you can go on these. And I've got two kids and a wife, and we just love going to the beach and having access to this, where you got your own kitchen and you got, a different kind of view than, a hotel room that's beside you where all the kids are yelling. All right. Another piece of our Dream Trips life is, we got a huge network of businesses that bring everyday value to you. So whether you want to get a haircut or get your tires rotated and changed, or buy tires, or, maybe you want to eat out, and take your family out, we've got special deals and companies that have partnered with us that because you're a member, you get access to this kind of stuff. We also have a mall, and inside that Dream Trips mall, there's all the companies that you normally could think of that you could shop online that give us, special rebates, discounts. There's just a numerous different kinds of things that all creates everyday value that you can use on a daily basis. You don't have to wait to go on a trip to save any money. You can use this section of our website and you can get money back, day after day after day after day. All right, so what does that cost? Basically, you're just going to add a more monthly fee. All right, it costs $200 up front whether you have one of our products or both of our products. If you want the Dream Trips Life, you just simply add about $55 a month as what you'd pay instead of $27 a month. So pretty simple concept there. You just add more value, a little more on the monthly fee. And I know some of you are looking at that saying, well, I really don't want to add any extra on a monthly basis. Well, what if I told you didn't have to pay that? All right, because we've got this little thing where you refer 4 people, and if they become a member, you don't have to pay your membership. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But I want to just pause here for a minute because, these two products I use them on almost a daily kind of basis. But obviously I showed you some pictures in the very beginning of where I was personally. See, I wasn't looking at this idea because I wanted to take a special trip at a great deal. Am I against that? Absolutely not. But see, I was interested in those things I put on the screen about time and money. See, time and money, I didn't have the flexibility of either one of those two things. And when I saw this information, I told my friends, if you can really do a $69 cruise, people would buy that. And if they would buy a membership to take that $69 cruise, I wanted to know, can I get paid on the commissions on that? And my two friends said, you absolutely can. And so I became very intrigued, and my questions were centered around, listen, I think people are going to buy these products. And those of you that like to know, we got tens of thousands and thousands of members in 20 countries around the world that pay for their membership on a monthly basis and use it. All right, so, we're not on question of whether that works. But I know for you, here's what, for me, what I was thinking about was, how can I make a commission on that? $200. Can I get paid on that $200? And more importantly, can I get paid on that monthly fee? The $55 a month or the $27 a month that people pay? Is there a chance I could get an override on that? All right, because if I could, see, I saw that if it ever got big enough, I could start replacing some of the income I had with permanent income that continued to come in on a residual basis if the database ever got big enough. And they said, yeah, you can do all those things, but what you have to do is you have to buy this third component here. It's called our representative business system. Now, the representative business system, it costs $100 one time. All right, you pay $11 a month, which obviously if you can waive the fees on the first part, we'll show you how to waive the fees on this if you want to get rid of those as far as your monthly fees. But here's what the representative business system does. It allows you the opportunity to market and sell the other two products we're talking about, okay? And so there's all kinds of different incomes that are available here, and I'm gonna just real high level go through some of these. I'm gonna talk about some special incentives that we got, some new promotional stuff that I think you're really gonna get excited about. But first of all, we have 2 sales teams. Those 2 sales teams, you get paid on the volume that's done on those 2 sales teams. All right, and we're just gonna convert this over to say when you make 3 sales on your left team and 3 sales on your right team, they cut you a check. And that's what my friends told me. Coming from the country, I got to keep this as simple as I possibly possibly can, because if I had to add a lot of stuff up or figure something out, I was going to have me a problem. And they just said, just find 3 on your left and 3 on your right and make those sales, and we're going to cut you a check. I said, for how much? They said, we'll give you $100 every time you do that, and if any of those people tell anybody, if there's 3 again and 3 again, they cut you another check. I said, you're kidding me. I said, nope, that's how it works. In fact, we're even going to give you a little extra incentive in the first 60 days. We'll give you $200 every time you do that in your first 60 days. I said, well, that sounds pretty good. And so what happened is I started telling a couple people about it. And you know what? They said the same thing. If those trips were real, I'd do this. And guess what? They did. And pretty soon they told some other people, and they told some other people. And, you know, just like you got put on this website here, and somebody said, hey, go see if you can win you a free trip. All right? That's exactly what I started doing in the very beginning. All I had was a website. I had 2 companies. See, those 2 companies took all my time. I was working from 7 in the morning till late at night, 11, 12 o'clock, 7 days a week. There was 0 time. I simply used a website to get the information to somebody, and that's exactly what you're watching right here. See, you can duplicate this over and over and over. As soon as you get off this, you could say, I want to buy that product and I want to participate, and you could put 30 people on this website tonight, and you could be making money if you want to choose to do that. All right, now here's something that if we got a special promotion that's going on right now. All right, this is for a limited time, but you actually can get a car bonus. You know, we have a car bonus in our program, all right, but it's geared towards the people that have developed a really large business, and it doesn't happen very quickly. All right, you know, maybe it takes you a year or 2 years to get that done, but what if I told you you could get a car in the next 30 days? And the reason I say that is we got people that are getting car qualified in 30 days, all right? And I think you could probably get pretty excited about that. You know, this was one of my goals. Now, it had to go a lot farther down the road for this to take place, but we got a special promotion right now. You probably would want to participate now to just take advantage of that. But let me just share with you the component that I want to talk about next is what I got the most excited about. The reason I got excited about this is, see, I knew that when somebody bought a Dream Trip membership and they paid $200 for that, I assumed I'd get a commission on that. But what I was really interested in is the $27 a month that somebody pays. Could I get a commission on that? Because if that ever got big, then if enough of those commissions came in, I got all my time back. And we have a commission you can get on that, on the monthly fees. Once there's a total of 30 sales on your left team and 30 on your right, of which, you know, you might not necessarily do all 30 of those. In my example, in my first 30 days, I had about 30 people that participated. But out of that, they started telling other people, and today there's tens and tens of thousands in countries all around the world. I don't even know where they all come from, all right, because they love to travel, they love to have fun, all right. But here's what happens is every time they pay a monthly fee, once you have 30 on your left and 30 on your right, then you start overriding that monthly commission. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. What's the number for you if you had a monthly fee or a monthly commission that came in of $500 a month or $200 a month? What would you do with that? What if it ever got to $5,000? What if it ever got to $10,000 a month that automatically rolled in? Would you roll in instead of roll out when the alarm clock goes off? All right. You might decide you want to call in well. See, those are the things that crossed my mind because, see, I had these 2 businesses and they owned me and I wanted my freedom. See, it was more important for me to spend time with my wife and my kids and go travel with them. But when I had to go over there and I had to go over there and over there and I had to go make money on a daily basis, I couldn't go with my wife and kids to do the things I wanted. And when I saw this right here, this little component, I absolutely did not sleep for multiple days. I got so excited about the potential of this. I thought it'd take me 10 years maybe or 5 years to ever create enough, but you know what? I looked on, when I asked you the question, I looked 5 years down the road, and I knew if I kept doing what I was doing, 5 years down the road, you know how much residual income I'm going to have? By about as much as you're going to have. None. Because you don't have a vehicle that can produce that. And when I saw this, I said, even if it takes me a long time, I think things could get different. And it did get different. It took me about 8 months to get rid of those 2 businesses. After about 8 months into that, I spent the next 24 months working as hard as I've ever worked in my entire life. And after that, because everything got so crazy and so big, the last several years have been, I can't even tell you about what it's like to be able to get up in the morning and pick and choose and do whatever you want to do and spend time with my wife. See, I believe the little things are more important than the big things. You know, many of you are thinking about a house and a car and those things. Not me. I just like to be able to get up in the morning and not have to make any decisions. I can just talk to my wife and just sit out on the patio and have a cup of coffee, and we can talk about, you know, what we're going to do and how our kids are doing. And when my kids have a basketball game or a sporting event, I don't have to go see if I can get off work. I could just show up. See, I'm telling you, you have those same options as what I got right here. All right. And you know, the income that can come in, you get to pick. How hard do you want to work? Does it take effort? Absolutely. I worked very hard for this. You will too if you want to have success. Now you might be saying, I just want to take the trips. Congratulations. Just become a member. Just take our trips. Now, just to recap some stuff here, just so you understand where things are at. You know, the Dream Trip membership, it costs $200, $27 a month. The Dream Trips Life membership is the same price. All right, you just get a 2-for-1. All you do is pay a monthly fee of $55 a month. And your RBS, if you want to make profit and money with this, it costs you $100 one time and $11 a month. You can see all that right there that's coming up on the screen. All right, to give you an idea. If you wanted to go all in and say, hey, I want to do everything here. This looks fantastic. It's about $365. All right, you pay the first month up front. All right, you pay $65 a month. And here's what I also tell you. If you make 4 sales, we got this thing called make 4 sales, and you don't have a monthly fee. It's wiped out, and you're not paying a monthly fee as long as the people that you made the sales to continue to pay those monthly fees. Now, as I close this thing down, you know, I know some of you are trying to understand how the money works and how all those things, you know, listen, you know, all this information's online, all right? There's lots of stuff that you can go find, but here's what I want to tell you as we close this thing out. I'd ask yourself those questions. Go back to what I said in the beginning. What's it look like for you the next 5 years? If you don't do this, all right, and you're not happy with whatever you're doing, please do something, all right? You might look at this and say, this is not for me. Hey, congratulations. That's okay. It doesn't matter to me. All right? I'd love for you to be a participant, but here's what I want to tell you. The person that showed this to you thought enough of you to say, hey, I think you could benefit from this, but I want you to ask yourself some questions. You know, sit down and think about, what's my bucket list? What are my passions? What dreams are in my heart? All right? What are the things that, if they could be different, what would it be that would be different? See, I think life is too short. You know, we had a little picture of that hourglass. All right, and the sand's just trickling through it. The sand's just trickling through it. The sand's just trickling through it. See, the hourglass never sleeps. The sand just keeps going through it. It keeps going through it and keeps going through it. And see, what I watch happen over time as I visit with people, I got friends of mine, I got family like this, that all of a sudden they reach one day, all right? They're 65, 70, 80 years old, and they know that life's over with. And all the hopes and dreams they had, they kept them stored up in their heart, and they never had the courage to go give themselves a shot at something that could deliver the time and money together. See, I believe you looked at something that could radically change your life. What I would do as soon as you're done here, I'd pick up the phone, I'd call the person that put you on this website and say, I got some questions, I want to get started. How can I be a participant? How does this work or that work? Here's what I'd ask you to do. At least spend enough time to investigate what we have, who we are, and what we've got a hold of, and we'd love to have you as a participant. Thanks for taking a few minutes. You're now entered into a special drawing where we're going to give away one of those dream trips that you get access to. All right, you're going to getting some emails. We got this promotion going on for several weeks. You're going to be entered in every week, and I hope I'm going to be on that trip. All right, I'm going to pay for mine, but I hope you're a free winner on that trip, and you come up to me and you say, listen, I got to see you on a video, and I won that trip. I hope you're on that trip with me. God bless you.